What's up guys, Boss here, and in today's video we're going to be pushing top ladder using the best Electro Giant deck in the game. So instead of talking about the deck too much in the intro, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prove to you guys how good this deck is. Look at this win streak I got on ladder. So I tilted a little bit and I won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games in a row with this deck. So if that doesn't prove this Electro Giant deck is good, I don't know what does. And I figured I haven't made a video on Electro Giant in a while, so why not do it on this one? Skeletons in the deck to give you faster cycle, and you don't need another air counter besides the queen because she is just so good on her own. If you don't have the queen, I'd recommend using the Inferno Drag instead. Before we get into the games, we have a sponsor for today's video. Thank you, Raid Shadow Legends, for sponsoring today's video. Raid is the best strategy RPG game available on PC and mobile with hundreds of different champions you can unlock. To download the game, all you have to do is scan the QR code on the top left or click the link in the description to download for free. There's a brand new boss in Raid called the Hydra, and believe me when I say this thing is even scarier than it looks. It's a giant snake-like figure that has 6 different heads attached to it, all with their own unique power. One of the heads I'll talk about is the Head of Suffering, and it has a power called Pain Link, so you need to be really careful when taking it out, because if you deal too much damage to it at the wrong time, it'll end up taking your team out. Head of Wrath is another one, and if you ask me, it has a very fitting name because if you deal too much damage to it, it'll unleash something called Vengeance, dealing 3 times the attack power to you. One of my favorite parts about Raid is how much variety there is in the game. There's different rarities, and each of the different characters fall in a different category. So right here, this is one of my favorite ones called Slasher, and you can see he's a rare attack in the Lizardmen category. Raid is constantly updating their game. This month, there's going to be a bunch of new champions, a brand new faction War Crypt for the Shadowkin. There's also going to be many events and tournaments, and a brand new event called the Fusion, where you're going to unlock a new legendary champion. Now is the best time to get Raid by scanning the QR code or clicking the link in the description, because new players will get free resources and an awesome free mystery champion, which you'll find out what it is when you get the game. The rewards will be in your inbox for the next 30 days. Alright guys, let's head into the first game here. We're 8,008 trophies right now, 262nd in the world, but we're going to try to push up even more and continue this 11-game win streak. Alright, here we go guys. First game against HB Martin. So we'll see if this guy wants to go ahead and do anything. He's going to Tombstone, so we can go Electro Giant in the opposite lane, because usually when someone drops their building, whether it's a Tombstone or Goblin Cage, you can usually just ignore it and set up for your push opposite lane, because by the time the Electro Giant makes it there, the Tombstone will already be expired for the most part, so then you have a very good chance of making it to the tower. We'll support the Electro Giant with a Dark Prince here to help take out any swarmies he drops, whether it's Barbarians or Guards. It's going to be pretty good against that. And that was a pretty good Inferno Drag on his end. He actually managed to take out the Electro Giant with the help of the Barbarians and the Tombstone, but we still have the Queen alive, and it's going to force something out of him. I don't know what, maybe even a Fireball, just because, yeah, I was going to say it would be unlikely he would sacrifice the Tombstone on top of it, because then I could, of course, just go for Electro Giant and, you know, at the bridge with a bomber, and he probably wouldn't be able to defend it without a building in response. So we end up taking the lead off of that push. I think we just set up for a push opposite lane here. It's pretty unlikely he's going to be able to defend this. This might be a tower trade situation, just because I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop the lava loon. So yeah, I mean, we'll just see what happens. We'll go for a high queen here. Actually, this is very good. He played the Tombstone high because I can... Oh wow, and the queen was helping take out the minions. That was perfect. I couldn't have asked for, you know, a better archer queen value. So he's going to go Barbarians on top of that. I'm just going to go ahead and probably Dark Prince, because for some reason he's not dropping the balloon. I was pretty certain he was going to play it behind the Lava Hound. Oh my gosh. The queen is just... How broken is it? I still have my ability. You know, wow. I can't believe how much value that queen got. Just, that's just ridiculous. I don't know what to say. And then he still had to fireball it too. That's so unfortunate for him. But that's why you can still beat air decks with just one air card. I mean, that just kind of showcases it right there. So we'll just go for a queen here to help take care of the Tombstone. We got a Tornado though, the Inferno Drag into the Electro Giant circle. And I guess we'll just go for a... We still have a cage available. So if he, yeah, decides to balloon, we can of course just tornado that balloon to the king tower. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We could just tornado it away because we have the queen up. 2 words. Archer queen. That's it. That's it. Those are the only 2 words that just summarize this match. Archer queen. Maybe 3. Archer queen OP. Thank you, Archer queen, for that hard carry. He even says good game. Bro, I actually respect that. I thought he would have been pretty salty, you know, just with how much value those queens got. Okay, so we continue our win streak, 12-game win streak right now. We won 12 games in a row with this deck. That is ridiculous. 210th in the world. If we win the next game, we end up getting in the top 200. Let's see if we get it. Okay, guys, found a next game here against Bana, and he's actually higher up than us by a little bit, so a win here would obviously be very, very nice. So go ahead and give him good luck and see what he wants to do. I guess we could just cycle a bomber to start the game off. It's usually a pretty safe starting play. Bana's known for being really good at Golem, so there's a very good chance that he is using Golem. It could also be Electro Giant. He usually switches between both of them. Okay, so he's going to go Dark Prince. Dark Prince, Mega Minion. So yeah, it most likely is going to be Golem, of course. So we'll just go Queen here. He might Lightning it. If he does, I guess it's fine. Is he actually... we might have to let that Dark Prince connect, because I feel like my cycle was a little bit bad, I guess you could say. I didn't really want to drop... Like, I didn't really want to drop a cage on top of it, because I ideally need to save it for the Golem or for the Electro Giant. I'm pretty sure it's Golem, though, now at this point. So we'll see if he's got a building or not. I hope he doesn't, like, have a cage, because it's going to make it a lot harder for us. Maybe he's just using Golem with support cards. So yeah, it looks like that is what he's doing. And all of that's going to die instead of the Electro Giant circle, so that's actually great. Even though we're not going to get much damage from the Electro Giant, he's not going to get any counter push out of that. So we'll just go Dark Prince here. And... maybe Queen at the bridge. Let's do it at this lane, because if he has Lightning, he'd get so much value hitting all the other stuff too. So, okay, he just Golden Knights that. That's fine. Yeah, the Golden Knight's going to be kind of annoying. Well, I forgot if I already said this. I don't have a great response for it, so... I guess, again, we could just go Electro Giant in the back. I just don't know if he has a cage or not, a Goblin cage. That's why I don't want to just E-Giant at the bridge, because until I know that, it's not really safe to do so. So, I guess I'll just Lightning this time around. Ooh, would have been nice to wait, because then I could have hit the Golden Knight, but I guess that's alright. So it looks like he probably doesn't have a Goblin cage, because I feel like by this point, he would have used it now if he had one, so that's, of course, going to be great for us. In that case, it means we can use our Lightnings on, you know, his support cards. So we'll go Queen all the way over here, so he's unable to hit the other stuff. That's actually really good for me that he played his Queen over there. And you see he had to use a Tornado on it, but the Queen is still alive, and it's going to force another response. So good Lightning here on top of the Golden Knight and the Mega Minion, and yeah, we're going to get so much damage. Queen locks on the tower, and at this point, I would say... Well, it's not quite GG, but he needs to get something going for him really fast, or else it's probably going to be over pretty soon. If he goes Golem, yeah, I was going to say, I'm probably just going to go Electro Giant, because he doesn't really have a lot of DPS for the Electro Giant, so I feel like it's going to be quite difficult for him to defend, and even if he does defend it, he won't be able to support his push, because he's going to have to devote all of his elixir on defense just to defend it, and yeah, as you can see, that's exactly what happens. So we're in a great situation right now. He's unable to break through because I have a Goblin Cage and he doesn't have... yeah, you can see he's crying. He's not very happy right now. Obviously going to be a really good matchup for me, and because, well, assuming I'm gonna, you know, win this, because I feel, you know, kind of bad for him, I guess, because of the crying emoji, it's making me feel a little bit of sympathy for him. If you guys want to check out his YouTube, you can. He's a really, really good Golem player. I don't know what his... Oh, yeah, you can see it in the description. YouTube, Bana CR. I feel a little bad for him. Oh, now he's got him laughing, so you can tell he's salty. I don't blame him. I mean, I just got a plus 40, so, you know, it's you know, I don't blame him that much. So, 203rd in the world. I actually did lose my last game. I didn't really... as you guys know, at the very beginning of the video, I don't want to show... like losses. Hope you understand. But later in the video, if I get a loss, I'll show it. It was, you know, it was kind of a boring game, like E-Giant versus Golem. I mean, I know that one was, but it was... The last guy kind of just, you know, I don't know, starting handed me, and I don't know, it wasn't a very fun game, but I was probably biased because I lost. But anyways, I'll see you guys when I find the next game. Okay, in our next match here against Albert, and unfortunately this guy is really low compared to me. So Bana was really high up compared to me. This guy's really low, meaning if I end up losing this game, I'm going to sadly lose quite a lot. I'm going to Skeletons just because I'm not sure. Okay, well now that Hog is definitely getting a hit because of the snowball. I was going to Skeletons because I thought I misplayed the cage, but sure enough, since he snowballed, he was going to get damage anyway. So this guy's got a mortar, which is obviously not a good sign for me. Mortar's actually one of the best buildings, if not the best building in the game, against Electro Giant, and that's just because the Electro Giant doesn't even damage it. And what I mean by that is when the Electro Giant is close to the mortar, it doesn't have its reflection damage because the mortar doesn't shoot it when the E-Giant is right next to it, as opposed to something like, you know, an Expo or like a Cannon or a Tesla. So the mortar is especially really, really good against the Electro Giant. So we got to be really cautious here. We're going to go Cage. I don't know if he's going to snowball. If he does, I'll probably just... And this time I played the Cage properly, so the Hog will certainly not get a hit. We could just go for a High Queen here to help take care of the Valkyrie. Okay, that is very weird that Valkyrie was like... I'm going to Lightning this because it's going to force a response out of him. Now he has to respond to the Queen. My guess is he's going to snowball it backwards, so I'm not going to activate the ability right away. You can see how I waited a little bit, so this way the slowdown of it wears off a little bit, and now he's forced to pretty much waste 3 elixir, so it's a good thing I waited. And, well, he still probably would have had to play Skeletons at least, but instead it forced him to play extra elixir and go for the bats. So we'll go Dark Prince here. The most important thing is I have my Tornado in cycle for the Hog Rider, because obviously he's going to want to play that at the bridge when he can. So we're not going to do anything. I was thinking of maybe Tornadoing it in, but I'd rather wait. This is actually a great E-Giant opportunity. I'm definitely going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go for the Tornado here. Actually a bad Tornado because the Hog got a shot, but I guess it's okay. It's not really the end of the world. We'll just go for our Archer Queen here to take care of the mortar, and his is 1 HP. That's kind of unfortunate. Okay, so we got the King activated, so that's great. Hopefully that Hog hit doesn't end up, you know, potentially costing me the game if it ends up being extremely close, and potentially it will, so that's kind of sad to think about, but, you know, we'll see. So he's going to go Hog here really aggressively. I'm definitely going to have to Tornado because of the bats, and also because he Earthquaked to the excuse me, the cage immediately. So, set up E-Giant in the... Alright, I'm starting to get a little annoyed now, not going to lie. But that mortar, I guess, was kind of premature there on the E-Giant. But he got back to another, sadly. Yeah, this might be GG. I'm having a hard time. This is probably our, like, last chance. Actually, maybe we're not quite out of this yet. Oh wow, wait, if that... Oh my gosh! Let's go! We got the win! Okay, wow. Okay, Hog came down a little too aggressive. He was praying that we get a hit, didn't get one. 17 trophies only. Oh, I was so sure I was going to lose that. I was, you know, Like, I was pretty confident I would lose that, not gonna lie, but we end up getting a really clutch win, putting me back into the top 200, almost at my season highest, and this is insane. So far, only one loss in what? 14 wins now? 14-1 on the day with this deck. That is insane. So yeah, let's head to the next one and see if I can continue climbing. Okay guys, here we go. In our next match here against Agony King. So chances are he's probably using Sparky because he's known for using Sparky, the giant Sparky variation typically, and he's quite good at it. So this will be an interesting match. Single Elixir is probably going to be a little challenging. It'll get easier, I would imagine, in double and triple, just because Sparky can be quite obnoxious to defend in Single Elixir, which I'm sure some of you guys might know. So I think the game plan is to go for a cage, and yeah, we're not going to play a single Electro Giant until double or triple Elixir. I can tell you that right now, because it's way too risky to do so. And E-Giant is not very good against Sparky, which, like, on defense, I mean, it's not a good idea to play. So we're going to Lightning this. And that Sparky's going to get a shot. Okay. Not too surprised. It's really hard to avoid Sparky damage in Single Elixir against this type of deck when you're running E-Giant, because you don't have, you know, too many answers to the Sparky in a way, and the Sparky gets pretty good value against the cage and even the Queen if it's not invisible. We're gonna go Queen at the bridge. I feel like playing it in the back wouldn't be a good idea because he'll just Sparky into it. He's gonna Fireball it, so I won't even activate the ability. It's fine because it wouldn't even get much value anyway. I can't go E-Giant at the bridge because I know he's got a mini P.E.K.K.A, so we're kind of in a pretty bad situation, I would say. Makes it really awkward playing against this deck. That's why I wish in this type of matchup it would just start, you know, in like double Elixir, because single is such a pain. So we'll just do this, I guess. We'll go Queen, and then we'll go ahead and pop the ability. He's gonna go maybe try to go for like some sort of tornado. Yeah, he does, as expected. And, I mean, we're not dead, but, yeah, this is a bad situation. I mean, if we come back, it's gonna have to be double Elixir. There's no doubt about that. So, he's gonna go, okay, very aggressively here. Very interesting. Skeleton's just to pull back the mini P.E.K.K.A, and he's gonna go Queen at the bridge. So, we'll probably go ahead and tornado it backwards. I guess he predicted the tornado because he didn't go for the Queen activation. So, man, this is rough. Queen activation, though, is good on top of the Sparky. And yeah, pretty difficult matchup, I would say. We didn't have this, you know, a great start either, but we only lose 20. I've played against Agony King quite a lot. I almost called him Agony Queen. That was kind of funny. I usually lose to Agony King when I have E-Giant, because you'd think E-Giant would do pretty good against Sparky, but it surprisingly doesn't, because the issue with the matchup is the Sparky gets a ridiculous amount of value, and you're put in a situation where if you apply pressure, you're kind of gonna lose. Like, what happened to me is, like, when I finally built a push, he just took my tower with the pressure he built, and like, that's why it's pretty difficult. But, you know, it is what it is. So he's just gonna go Ghost. I guess we could just go for a Dark Prince. This guy might be using Goblin Drill, because the last time I played against him, he was using Goblin Drill. And maybe this will be the last game of the video, we'll see. And yeah, there it is. There's the Goblin Drill. So Goblin Drill is still decent. A lot of people consider it to be, you know, kind of bad, but it's still viable. You just have to... It takes more skill, let's put it that way. So he's going to go Ghost. We'll go ahead and... Okay. We'll Tornado the Ghost to the King Tower. And yeah, this is another match where Single Elixir is not going to be very fun. Certain decks do really good in Single Elixir, and E-Giant is not really one of them, especially in most matchups. The ones in particular are like bridge spammy type decks, Sparky, and Drill. Like, especially those. So, and then the Hog one too was a good example, that Hog Mortar deck. I don't know how I came back there, to tell you the truth. It's a good Bomber on top of that. He's gonna go Bandit. We're gonna have to Dark Prince on that. I don't know if this means he's gonna go Drill other lane. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Tombstone. Yeah, Tombstone and Drill, so he's got 2 buildings. We get E-Giant now. Same lane, just because I want to go into the lane he's got more damage. Okay, good. He doesn't predict the skeletons with something. I thought he was going to, potentially. So, maybe he's going to have to Drill on defense. I may ignore that Ghost. And just... I thought he was going to... Okay, that Queen was really good. NATO all that in, hopefully. We're in double now, which is good. We're gonna have, like, more of a chance. Try to be a little more passive for a second. I gotta fix my cycle before we go in for a push. He's got arrows, too. That's really annoying. Okay, arrows are gonna get good value against my, my Bomber, especially. I think we just E-Giant now. I feel like we have to. We have to get a push going. Set up Cage to help for defense. And we're going to go Dark Prince because the Bomber dies to arrows. And you can see he even tried to predict the Bomber, so I'm so glad I didn't play it. He might have been a little too aggressive. This might be our opportunity. Because look at all that we have on the board. I think that we got him, guys. Let's go. Yet another matchup where you have to be patient and wait until you can finally build a push. So we end the video a lot higher up than where I started, because even though I had a couple losses, we still climbed up, because the loss, especially this one, only minus 20, and then I got 32. So after that, you know, those 2 games, I end up getting plus 12, which is really, really nice. So that is going to put me 180th in the world. And guys, yeah, this deck is insane. I mean, I only lost 2 games with this deck out of, how many did I play? I don't know, like 17 or something like that. But yeah, before I started recording, I don't know. I don't know how I won, what was it, 11 or 12 games in a row. That rarely happens. Been a great day of Clash, I gotta say. Super happy, because in the global tournament too, you can actually take a look here. I'm 17th in the global tournament on this mini account. It's in Arena 3. I just made it like a few weeks ago. So having a good run in the global tournament, untilted on ladder, great day of Clash. So yeah, make sure to like it if you guys did end up enjoying it. Make sure to try this deck out, best Electro Giant deck. Subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. And thanks again, until next time, guys.